Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review for the anime FLCL Shoegaze on Toonami. And I actually enjoyed this one. My biggest kind of complaint for it would have been that it's only 3 episodes. And there's a lot to kind of handle with in here, and I think that 6 episodes would have worked better for it. Otherwise I would have, really would recommend this to anybody that's been into FLCL, as well as FLCL Alternative, because this is a 10 years later kind of one, and deals with kind of the fallout and ramifications for them. So, mainly the biggest thing is how short it is. Otherwise, the animation style, the story, and kind of what they dig into for the characters, especially like Kana and Kanda, really work out pretty well here. And that's not to say that I hate like the certain other kind of animation styles. I'm always down for them to experiment, but this one really was able to focus in on and hone in on what makes FLCL, and actually kind of working within the kind of story that we've already kind of had, and kind of working on a different kind of tact for it, because we get Masaki, this kid that's pretty much seeing ghosts, that are kind of like this whole kind of spiel about like the alternate kind of realities, because granted, I'm kind of still a little bit kind of, it's been so long since Alternative that trying to kind of remember certain kind of things, because the universes had split. There's one where there's like pretty much a colony on Mars, and then the one that we're in that doesn't have it. And the thing is, this Masaki kid is seeing all these ghosts and sees this bird on top of this tower, and he's like, screw this shit, and he hates that he has to like hide this kind of stuff, and kind of just wants to blow up the tower and see kind of what goes on. He then gets roped into this kind of more with this chick Harumi, who is just nuts crazy, kind of more of like a Haruko kind of character, because Haruko is not in this, and that's kind of the reason for Kanda to try and like get the universes back together, because he hasn't seen Haruko and kind of wants to see her again. Kana wants to see her friend Pets, who's on Mars, and kind of get everything back together. And we learn throughout this, mainly towards the end of it, which isn't really that long, that Kana was pretty much being utilized throughout this whole kind of experience to try to use her NO reaction to utilize this machine and re-merging the universes. But it hasn't really worked out, and she is just very much disillusioned as an adult. She doesn't really have all of her friends together, she doesn't really hang out with anybody, and I totally get that. Like, it was very relatable to understanding that, like, the whole quote-unquote growing up adulting bullshit is just, you follow what I say and it'll work out, because that's pretty much what Kanda did to her, and it really didn't. And then he tries to escalate all this shit because of what goes on with Masaki and Harumi, pretty much trying to utilize his sexual energy to use his NO to activate the machine, and then pretty much ordering a sniper team to kill Harumi to get a shocking reaction to try and get the universes to merge. That's like, Jesus, fuck that noise. What the fuck? Screw you. So we see everything kind of going completely nutty-doo-dah. We see the tension between the characters of Masaki and Harumi. We learned that Harumi was actually a boy in the other universe, and somehow got kind of flipped over when it got sliced and separated, and has been dealing with kind of this fucked wrongness kind of feel of the world, which is totally understandable. And she gets... part of her kind of thing is that she demanded all these different kind of candies, and Kana's rolling around trying to get it, and it's like, fuck you. She's like, I want candy, and I want to dance under it, and she's like, fine, fuck it, and Kana actually kind of laughs and kind of understands the kind of insanity, and seeing them kind of bond a little bit like that before the machines start going kind of nutty because of Masaki's NO reaction, and then the ghosts start appearing to other people, and this dude shoots Harumi, more accidentally rather than under Kanda's orders, and it starts doing the reaction with Masaki as the universes are kind of trying to merge. But the thing is, Harumi is able to kind of figure out what's kind of going on with her kind of ghost form and getting back onto Earth, and they of course then get to a point we see Masaki's NO kind of going to the horn kind of thing, and everything's kind of floating and going nutty-doo-dah with the fucking chicken thing and everything. I was on top of the tower, and he asked to kiss her, and she's like, "You should just kiss them, kiss whoever you kind of want." And they kiss, but this overloads him, and this giant kind of worm whale thing pops up and eats this kind of thing. The merging was almost happening, but it really didn't. And then we see that Harmy disappears, and nobody knows about her. Nobody sees the ghosts anymore. People kind of work better. Now, Kana's like saying it's the most important kind of thing to have at least the memories as she's playing a kind of catch match with Kanda. And then we see at some point that Masaki is able to get over to the other universe and sees Harumi, and like he has to deliver a letter to Pets for Kana, and showed the sketchbook to Harumi, and Harumi then remembers and says, "How did you get here?" It's like this fella named Atomisk, which is a smaller kind of version of the whale worm thingy. And it was just a nice kind of little ending and a nice kind of next little story for Alternative, which I really didn't expect. I'm like, alright, what's kind of going on here? It had the usual kind of weird sexual kind of energy and tension that popped up in the original Fooly Cooly with Masaki and Harumi, and understanding how like some of the like insane crazy shit could like affect people, like Kanda, for like I know Kana had like her own kind of objectives of wanting to see Pets again, but like he's doing this for 10 years and was really stymieing Kana's progress as well. And then he goes fucking nutty to try and do all this stuff because calling them like terrorists and like trying to get them sexual energy and trying to murder somebody to get somebody shocked enough to achieve your goals is like, holy fucking shit. Like seeing these characters and their goals and what they're willing to go through to do certain kind of things. Kana dealing with this unruly teenager's like, I want all this candy from all these different kind of places, and then like, I just fucking toss it, I want to dance under candy. And Kana kind of getting back to and understanding her kind of self and kind of defending herself, but getting back to more who she is that we had seen in Alternative, as she's trying to balance the whole part of growing up of understanding and adapting to certain kind of changes in life, but not letting yourself be completely and utterly consumed into the dullards of weird, stupid, shitty things that other assholes and certain societal mechanisms will kind of force you into. It was actually really kind of cool and really interesting to delve into those kind of things. At least what I was able to get out of it. If you guys aren't into it, that's cool. I understand. Now, granted, it's 3 episodes, so I could definitely see how somebody could be like, it's kind of a waste of time where I didn't like it, but it's the least kind of waste of time because other things are kind of longer. I think it kind of works more into Fooly Cooly's kind of realm rather than being random for random's sake that Grunge tried to pull off, but didn't really work for me. But I would definitely recommend this, especially fans of the original Fooly Cooly and Alternative, if you're both that kind of fan. I really like the art style and really like to see the difference for the ghosts and everything of what was kind of going on. A nice blend of 2D and computer generated as well, one not overpowering the other. I definitely think that the story, characters, and action work pretty well as well, especially when they're like dealing with like a bomb thing and kind of exploding. It's like, oh shit, motherfucker. So yeah, I'd recommend this to anybody really, and it's only 3 episodes, which that's my main criticism for it. It doesn't negatively affect the story, but I think 3 other episodes could have improved the pacing a little bit and let us breathe, maybe let us explore certain kind of other stuff going on with certain kind of characters and see certain kind of fallouts kind of work out a little bit better. But I don't think it completely destroys the story and the characters going on here. It's just one negative for it. It's like, okay, I understand they're experimenting, seeing what goes on. It doesn't seem like the story was stretched or compacted too much by that decision to do 3 episodes. So, those are my opinions on the anime. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also, like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.